All right, how you guys doing? I hope all is well. Of course, this is Chef Nupe, also known as Mike, or Mike known as Chef Nupe. Just wanted to try to do something a little different today. Wanted to go live and do a cooking demonstration for my Facebook fam. As I mentioned yesterday, as I was preparing dinner, I was going to do churros. And so I wanted to kind of do that recipe for you guys this evening before I go on my evening exercise. And also kind of while we're doing this cooking demonstration for churros, I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about, if you're dating or if you were dating and now that you're married, when did you start, if you know how to cook, when did you first expose your cooking skills to your significant other? So let's kind of talk about that a little bit. So first, again, for those who are joining, I wanted to again say we're going to be making some churros, something quick, something fun. If you have a sweet tooth like I do, this is something that is going to be quick and easy. So again, it shouldn't take too long. I will hopefully, stay with me for about 25, 30 minutes, and we'll get this rocking. So in order to make your churros, you got to do a couple things, okay? You got to do a couple things. So those things are, you got to have your sugar and cinnamon mixture. So with that being said, I have about half a cup of sugar and 3/4 cup of cinnamon in this bag here. So I'm going to take this bag and actually put it into a little something, nothing special, a little styrofoam plate. So because once you finish your churros and let them cool, then you want to toss them in the cinnamon sugar mixture. So I'm just going to take the opportunity and just kind of put that on here like this, and be careful not to spill anything on the floor. So I'm going to have that just there waiting. Also, what you want to do is you want to have maybe about a cup to a cup and a half of vegetable oil on the stove heating up. So over here, you can't see it per se. I have some vegetable oil cooking, or actually warming up. So therefore, when I'm ready to kind of drop the batter, it'll be ready. So what we're going to do is actually get started on the actual churros. All right. I don't know if you can hear, but I got some music in the background to kind of set the mood. I don't know why, because I don't have anybody here. No one's coming over. I'm not inviting anybody over because we're still in quarantine. So with that being said, I'm going to set my temperature on my stove here to about a medium high. Okay. And for my churros, I have 1 cup of water. I have 1/4 of a cup of unsalted butter. Okay, very important. It has to be unsalted, not salted. All right. I have a tablespoon of sugar. Okay. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. All right. And this is how we're going to start things off. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. As you hear, it's kind of sizzling already because you want to bring all of that to a boil. All right. So I'm dumping in my water. I'm dumping in my 1/4 of a cup of butter. I am dumping in my sugar as well as my salt. And I'm going to let this come to a boil. Okay? And we're going to give that a quick little stir just to make sure everything gets mixed up in there. And like I said, while we're doing that, one of the things I wanted to make sure that, we kind of talk about. So for those of you who know how to cook, if you've got a significant other, you're dating or whatever, when was the first time that you actually, exposed your cooking skills? That's something that for me as an individual, I've kind of waited until later on in the dating process to kind of expose my skills, because sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you, some folks just they hear that you can cook and they just want a free meal. They don't want to know nothing about you. They just want to eat for free. They want to eat off of you for free. So I kind of be like, let me kind of see what you about first before I actually, bring out my skills, So I don't know if you guys, who are watching right now, What do you think? You know, have you in the past just kind of put it on out there and just said, okay, you know, first meal, come on over, I'll cook for you, or do you wait? You know, what's going on, Nupe? How you doing? That's up, my brother, Mr. Bowman. How you doing, Nupe? But I mean, just think about that. Are you one that will actually whip out your skills first? Or will you actually, you know, kind of wait a little bit, see what the person's about first before you actually start cooking for them? You know, like I said, I've been in situations where we've gone out a couple of times and we've gone to restaurants or whatever, and they've asked for me to cook. I'm like, oh, we'll get to that, or I can't think of anything, or whatever. Because I just want to see who they are, you know, because you got some food diggers, you know, not gold diggers, but food diggers. You know, they come in and they just want a free meal. They just want to, you know, sample the goods without investing the time to getting to know you. And, you know, for me, you gotta put in the work in order to get some of this good cooking. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. So as this is coming to a boil, what we want to do is, at that point, it's coming to a boil. We want to get ready to add 1 cup of flour to this mixture. Okay? So I have my all-purpose flour, 1 cup of it, and I'm going to slowly add this to the mixture. So, actually what I'm going to do something different. I'm going to use a whisk instead of a spoon. So that way, there's no clumps in here. So, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some people may say I'm doing too much as far as waiting, you know, for a while in order to cook for a person. But, you know, that's just me. You know, sometimes, you know, people, like I said, they want to take advantage of you. You know, so I don't know. That's just my thought. So when you add your flour, you want to reduce your heat to a medium-low heat so you don't burn anything. And as you see here, it's coming together into a nice little batter. You see it comes together quite quickly. So we want to make sure that comes all the way together. And at this point, I'm going to transfer it to a spoon as I'm dropping everything everywhere, so that we can actually mix everything. So churros, if anyone knows me, know that I love churros. And because of this pandemic, I haven't gone to my churro spot in over like 3 months. So my struggle is real right now. So I figured if I can't get over there and get some churros, then I will bring the churros to my house. And so I found this nice, quick, and easy recipe where anybody can do it. This is like a fun, you know, something you can do with the kids if you have kids, your niece and nephew, or any young person that wants to start, you know, learning how to cook. Get them involved. And if they have a sweet tooth like I do, I'm sure they're going to love this. So as you see here, this is pretty much done. The batter is done. Okay. So at this point, what we want to do is we want to transfer this to a bowl. And I have a bowl right here. We're going to let this dough rest for about 5 minutes, okay? So take a look at that. You see how that looks? It's all together, it's nice and formed. So again, for those that are just tuning in, we're making churros. And what we did is we started off bringing to a boil 1 cup of water with 1/4 cup of unsalted butter, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We brought all of that to a boil. Once it got to a boil, we added 1 cup of flour, and we formed this nice dough right here, which is now cooling for about 5 minutes. You want to let it cool for about 5 minutes, okay? So pretty much at this point, while this is cooling, you have about, I would say, a cup to maybe a cup and a half of vegetable oil that is heating on your stove. And what I'm going to do, just for the sake of not moving the camera around and getting you guys, maybe dropping the camera and you guys are be like, what the heck is he doing? I'm going to move my my heated oil over so that you guys can see it. So right now that is heating. So as we're waiting for the 5 minutes to, you know, elapse, you also want to get 1 egg, which I have right here. I've broken it because I don't like the white part in the egg. I have the liquid whites and the yolk in there, but there's that little white stuff that's always in there. I've taken that out. So I have 1 egg here, as well as I have 1/2 teaspoon that I'll put in of vanilla extract. Okay, so that's pretty much it while this is cooling. So let's kind of get back to the topic. All right, I haven't seen anybody respond yet. Maybe I'm being a little bit too much in this, but my question is, for those of you who know how to cook, when you were dating, for those that are married now, those that are dating right now, you know, when was the first time that you actually brought out your skills for your other person? Did you do it right away? Did you wait a little while, kind of see if they were worthy of your cooking? Let me know, because maybe that's the reason why, you know, it's taking me so long to find the perfect person, because maybe I'm being too stingy. I wait. You know, you got to put in the work in order to get some of the good cooking. I don't know. You know, that's me. So maybe that's why I'm, you know, at where I am right now, you know. So I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to call some folks out. My cousin Joe, what you think, man? Melvin, how you doing, bro? How you doing, man? Carrie, George, let me know what you think. What's going on? Let me know. Oh, perfect. My former work wife, Yvonne, is on. Thank you for watching. The question is, maybe you could be the first one to answer, is when you started dating, you know, or someone expressed interest and you kind of seeing what they about, but you know how to cook. When did you bring out your cooking skills? Did you do it in the beginning? Did you wait until, you know, later in the dating process? Let me know. Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out what I should do here. You know, sometimes, you know, I want to whip out the skills and I want to bring it, you know, let them know what I'm capable of. But sometimes you got folks that's, you know, just want to get a free meal. I don't know. That's just me. All right. So it's been probably about 5 minutes. So for the sake of this demonstration, I don't want to keep you guys too long. Let's just say that this has cooled for 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and take your 1 egg and we're going to add it to this mixture, as well as what we're going to do, we're going to add that vanilla extract. That 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And for, like I said, for those of you who are just tuning in, we are talking about bringing out your cooking skills when you're dating. And so, of course, when you're cooking, you're gonna, you know, bring about, you know, a dessert. You're gonna cook a whole meal, then you're gonna do dessert. So this is a good, fun dessert that's easy. All right. So now that we've added the egg and the vanilla, we're going to, you know, get our portable hand mixer. We're going to go ahead and mix this all together. And it's going to break apart at first, but it's going to come back together once it's all incorporated. So I'm not sure if you guys can see that. That's how it's supposed to look. Now, one thing I failed to do before in my setup is I failed to get the next part of this together. But I think I've got a workaround to that. So as you see here, it's starting to come together, because it's whipping around in the blender. I mean, sorry, in the blades of the mixer. So we're pretty much good to go at this point. Okay. So I'm gonna let this separate from the blades here, just be careful not to have everything splatter all over everything else like I'm doing right now. See? So I'm gonna stop right there before I embarrass myself. So as any cook will always do, you always have a second batch in hand. So this is what you would do. You would actually take a plastic bag. If you're not like a professional chef and you don't have all the appropriate tools or what have you, I would say get a plastic red cup for obvious reasons. Get a Ziploc bag, and what you're going to do is you're going to open it along the sides here. I'm going to actually demonstrate. And so when you have it open, you'll take your batter that you just mixed together, and you're going to fill it up on the inside here. Okay? Once you do that, you close it, and with some scissors, kitchen scissors, okay, not regular scissors you cut paper with or do anything else with. It has to be kitchen scissors because we want to make sure they're clean and they are specifically for cooking. You want to cut a hole at the corner of your plastic bag so that you're kind of creating like your own piping bag, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze the piping bag into the pot of hot oil, and we're going to use our kitchen scissors. We're going to cut off the end. We're going to do about maybe, I'll say about 3-4 inches of this, and we're going to let it cook, okay? All right, so let's try this out. Now, mind you, this is the batter from yesterday, so as you see here, I'm squeezing it out. I'm going to use my scissors. I'm going to cut that off in there, okay? So we're going to do a couple of these just for the sake of time. I'll do about 3 of them. All right, so the question was, Yvonne, I think I saw you. You said define work, meaning that the person can't be on the first date asking for you to cook for them, all right? It's more so of you getting to know them and spending time with you, you understanding, whether or not they are, really interested in you or if they are just a player. So I don't know, however long that takes for you to determine that is, what I mean by them putting in the work before you feel comfortable enough inviting them over or you going over to your house or their house and, cooking up something for them, okay? I may do one more. All right. So, with that being said, now mind you, I do have to apologize because I made a batch yesterday and I put it in the refrigerator to make sure that it stayed, pretty much fresh. So that's why it came out a little bit more, it was harder to squeeze. But the batter that we made today, it should be way easier. It should almost be like frosting that's coming out of the piping bag as far as you dipping it into your hot oil, okay? So with that being said, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna disconnect for a little bit so you guys can see it cooking. So as you can see here, we have our churros cooking in hot oil. And I'm gonna just take some out. This is how it's gonna look. Okay, but we wanna cook that in there maybe 2 minutes per side. Okay. And as I mentioned before when we started, you wanna make sure that you have your cinnamon sugar waiting, okay? You're not gonna dump it in immediately because, of course, something in hot oil, it has to, soak up. We have to have something to soak up and catch the oil before we put it in the cinnamon sugar. So, of course, I have a paper towel and a plate here. I'm just gonna set it here so that once we're ready, we can just move it over there, okay? Hey, Miss Eunice, how are you? We're making churros. Mr. Curtis, there's no peach cobbler recipe that will be shown on this video. That's a secret recipe. It's like Colonel's fried chicken. It's a secret recipe. So as I look at these look like they're about done, especially this one. So I'm gonna take this one out. I'm gonna put it over there. We got a couple more here that I think are about done. And like I said, this is a fun and quick and simple recipe that anybody can do, especially if you have kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, cousins, young cousins that have a sweet tooth and are looking to learn how to cook. This is something that you can definitely do. So I'm only going to do 4 because I'm trying to, again, reclaim my body because I'm getting fat in this quarantine fat. And so I'm going to do 4 because I'm going to be the only one that's going to be eating these. So I have to eat these before I go for my bike ride this evening, or at least have 1 or 2 before I go on the bike ride because I got to burn off that sugar and all the fried stuff. So as this is drying, soaking up the oil, remember you have your cinnamon sugar here. I'm going to spread this out so that we can toss the churros here into your cinnamon sugar mixture, okay? Miss Monique, my sister, how are you? I'm good. As you can see, the chef is doing his thing and showing the people how to make churros. So I'm waiting on you to do your video, because we're both chefs, even though I did beat you in the finger licking chicken cook-off. I don't know if you remember that. I think everybody that went to the party back in the ATL remembers that. So either way, come on out with your video so we can do the thing. All right, so these should be pretty much done. And what I want to do is since this is me here, I am going to do something that I wouldn't normally do, but when I'm cooking, I'm going to go ahead and toss these without my gloves. As you see here, I have my gloves right here, but it's just me. I don't have time to set the phone down and put them on and then toss them only to take them off and eat. So I'm just going to take one, for example. I'm just going to toss this into the cinnamon sugar. You see how easy that is and how they stick? And I'm going to set one right here, go for the other one. We're going to toss that as well. So you guys are more interested in the churros and my question about when do you bring out your cooking skills if you're dating somebody. For those who are married, and can cook, when did you start cooking for your spouse? Was it immediately? Was it, later on in the relationship? Was it after you got married? I don't know. Tell me, because I'm trying to figure out. You've got folks that can cook here and they're still single. I'm sure they want to know too. All right. So as you can see here, these are coated very well. And they're done. So the question, Yvonne, you can make them as long as you would like. Just depends. I like them a little bit longer than this, and usually I like them filled as well. But I haven't gotten the filling technique together. So I'm working with just the churros and the cinnamon sugar, so that you can make them as long as you would like. To answer your question, and Miss Eunice, thank you. So you're saying that you should start cooking immediately because you want to try to capture you've been married for a while, so that's how you captured Pastor Mike. You brought in those skills and made the fried chicken and macaroni and cheese immediately, so that you can get them hooked. Is that how you do it, or do maybe that's how I should have done it. Maybe I would be married right now. I don't know. Eric, okay, you're saying that you cook for your partner after you've established a relationship. Ah, okay. So you don't do it during the dating stage. You guys are going out to restaurants or whatever, and then once you have decided you guys are going to be in a relationship, that's when you're going to cook for the individual. Okay. All right. So these are done. All right. So we're going to give this a taste test. Monique, I bet we wish you could be here. Try some real food. I don't know what you've been eating, them Twinkies out the corner store or whatever. All right. So here we go. We got our homemade churros. Very good. Very, very good. I'm going to dip it with a little bit more sugar on the end. That is really good. So, I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared, you guys. I'm sorry. You got to make sure that you're prepared. So, sometimes you can eat churros by themselves. Or sometimes you can have a couple of things, such as Nutella or hazelnut spread. Some people like to dip theirs in peanut butter, or my personal favorite, you can drizzle it with caramel. Yes. Or if you have chocolate, you can put chocolate on it. Whatever is your pleasure. I'm going to try it with a little bit of caramel sauce and go from there. So either way, I hope that you guys enjoyed this quick little cooking demonstration. These churros. Monique, if it was here, Monique, if you were here, you would get slapped right now because they so good. Oh my gosh. Right out the grease, dipped in the cinnamon sugar. I'm sorry. So, with that being said, let me know. You want me to do another one? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. But I want to pair these with relationship conversations. As a guy, trying to make sure that, I'm staying relevant and understanding the needs in the dating scene. Just want to understand what you guys think and what you guys will recommend as we cook together. All right. With that being said, I'm going to finish this last churro, have dinner, go for my bike ride, and I'm done for the evening. You guys have a great evening. I love you. Stay safe. Wear your masks. And remember, if no one else loves you, Jesus and I love you. Buckle up. It's the law. All right. Have a good one.